Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we are looking at my 1cc of Super XYX. The game has been out for quite some time on Steam, but recently released on the Nintendo Switch. So I grabbed the Nintendo Switch version and played a little bit. I unlocked every character and all the modes, and that's why we can pick Cobra in this case. In my opinion, Cobra is the strongest ship in the game, because the power level is so high. Cobra allows you to power through some bosses or enemies and don't see some patterns at all. So you make quick work of the enemies. The first stage is nothing too special. That being said, when I started the game, I had some problems with the bullet visibility, and as you can see here, I tried to get very close to the enemies because you can seal the bullets. This is a theme you will see a lot in this run, and I think also in runs of other people. So yeah, normally the first stage is not too bad, but in the beginning, when you start the game, you might be a little bit thrown off of the visibility. As you can see, there's a lot of explosions. The bullets are relatively fast, I'd say, and they are a little bit small. What made a very big difference for me was to play the game in TATE mode. So if you have the opportunity, try to do that. Now we are at the first boss, and I like to start in the middle because he shoots this a few bullets. First I go left, right, left, and then hug the left wall and go up and down, because in the normal mode the lasers will not touch the far left or the far right, as far as I know. I never had the case that the lasers touch the far left, so that's why I go to the left and then up and down. And Cobra is so strong, you destroy the left side and then no lasers will come out there and you only have to deal with the remaining bullets. Stage 2, also not too bad. Therefore I might as well talk a little bit about how long it took me to clear the game. The normal clear without the Gauntlet and without the TLB came quite fast. I think I needed like 7 to 10 hours, something in that realm, which is quite okay for a shmup. But the game was so fun, it drew me in time and time again, so I just wanted to play one more run, and yeah, so that's why I stuck with the game, and I really appreciate that, and that's why I really like that, or this game. You can see that Cobra makes quick work of most of the enemies. Sometimes they don't even shoot bullets. Other than that, it's just going from left to right, nothing too crazy. And with the next boss, that is coming up here, you can see how you can cheese the game. You will just stay on top of the boss, go a little bit to the left because he likes to fire down. Then you go immediately over the second boss and stay on top, and so that is how you can avoid basically all of their attacks. And the boss fight is pretty easy. There are more than this one boss fight where you can make use of this strategy, and I will point this out when we get there. So if you no-miss the first two stages, you can get the coin for the Gauntlet right here. I just picked it up. You can also let it go, but then you won't play the Gauntlet. The run is shorter and you won't face the TLB. So just in case you don't want to fight the TLB and don't want to go through the Gauntlet, it's perfectly fine to just leave this big coin out. Here you can swing from right to left and from left to right. You just try to avoid the bullets, because I have all the options, Cobra is so strong that you will destroy those boats relatively fast, as well as here the enemies you can just easily avoid the shots. That being said, I already mentioned it at the beginning, I had some trouble seeing the bullets, especially on the very small Nintendo Switch screen, not playing in TATE. It was quite painful, and changing to TATE mode made a big difference, or playing it on a bigger screen. So if you really want to try to clear it, I would strongly advise to play on a bigger screen. This part can be tricky, kind of, because you can get cornered. So you just have to practice and find an optimal route for yourself. This boss can get a little bit nasty because of these lasers. Sometimes they overlap and you don't see what's going on, and you need to focus on this green laser because it moves. I usually start at one side, destroy one side, then go to the other side, or continue in the middle, and then you will reveal this eye in the middle. And because Cobra is so strong, you can just avoid some patterns. If you use other ships, you might need to deal with some other patterns. But in this case, we are fine. So coming up is the Gauntlet. If you beat the Gauntlet and you beat the True Last boss, you can unlock the Gauntlet mode, so you can practice the Gauntlet. But otherwise, there's no option to practice it. Here I like to start at the right and go to the left and avoid the shots. Same here, I start at the right and go to the left and then go back, destroy everything, try to get some of the coins. And here it can get a little bit messy if you don't take care, or you don't know what's waiting for you. But in general, if you play it a few times, you will get the hang of it. Here I go up immediately because here you have only this one tank instead of two tanks, but the strategy remains the same. You want to go up, stay on top of the tank, and destroy it as fast as possible. Here's the variant of the stage 3, and also here you have to be kind of aware that you can get cornered relatively easy. For this ship, I start at the right and go over to the left. If you prefer to go from left to right, I think you can do that as well, but this is how it works for me. Just go to the left slowly. Okay, in this case, I didn't do it, but yeah, you see what I mean. Now we have a variant of the stage 3 boss. Here again, I like to start at one side, and this boss is even meaner because you have to look out for all these lasers. As you can see, I'm just staying on the right side to destroy the first part. I have to go up here quite a bit, but in the end I can destroy the first part, then I go over to the left and destroy the second part, or try to destroy the second part. I used the bomb here because I feared that the green laser and the yellow lasers would sandwich me, so I used the bomb instead. And what's interesting in the Gauntlet, you have special lives, as you can see on the top right. They are not connected to the lives you have in the normal run. Here you can stay more or less in the middle. Kill the first guy very quickly, kill the second guy very quickly, and then go directly on top of the dragon's heads. Try to stay there and kill the heads as fast as possible, and with this you can avoid their attacks completely. So as you can see, if you know what you have to do, you can cheese the game and make it far easier. And yeah, here I'm using a bomb because I got cornered by the volcanoes and the lava they were spitting. Yeah, and here I get hit. And like I said, getting hit is pretty bad. It would have been better to use the bomb, but yeah, I thought I could go through the bullets. Getting hit is bad because now I lose my options. As you can see, I only have 2 of the helicopters, one on the left, one on the right, and I get significantly weaker. This dragon is a little bit annoying. I don't like this fight. You or I basically want to stay as far away from his mouth as possible so I can use this spaces that open up. So yeah, here it's a little bit close, but I managed to get through. You can only hit this, yeah, you can only hit these balls, bubbles, big things. And as you can see, I got cornered, and I don't know exactly which parts of the boss you are not allowed to touch, but I touched something and then died, and here I just used a bomb for safety. You then get to this part where you only collect these random items. I think they give bonus points, but yeah, you want to get as much of this items as possible, because yeah, the gauntlet gives a lot of points, and if you know what you're doing, you can get a lot of bonus lives for your main run. So for the next stages you have to do in your main run. This is the final boss from the gauntlet. It's Maze Eye, and this might be the only pattern in the whole game where I use the slow button. Other than that, I'm not using it. Here I got hit by, I think, by the yellow balls. I have some problems seeing them, even now when I rewatch it. And I think I'm using a safety bomb. Yeah, right here. And then it's already done. The problem is I'm going into stage 4 of the main run with a weakened Cobra ship. But spoiler alert, we will see some more fumbles. But yeah, in the end I was able to do it. But in general, getting hit by a bullet is generally pretty bad. So for stage 4 you can just go up directly over this tank and you make quick work, get the power up. Now you have some enemies coming from the left and the right trying to shoot you, and here you should stay on top of these things. They have some kind of bullet spread you want to avoid, and you will see this again in a few seconds. For some reason I have a lot of problems with these patterns, but this time it works out quite well. Another one of those tanks, just stay on top, bullet seal and make quick work of them. Get another option as soon as you kill the enemies right here. If you're in doubt, you can just let them go. Here I was a little bit lucky because Cobra made so much damage. I could kill this thing and then take care of the other one. And for the third one it was quite easy, you just stay on top and that's it. Here we again have these things. I used a safety bomb because I didn't want to die here. Few more enemies, popcorn enemies, and then we're at the stage 4 boss. And I think this is one of the bosses that gives me the most troubles. You will see in a second. For some reason, I don't know why, I directly moved into the laser. which is quite bad, of course. I like to destroy the sides first, and then if you have destroyed the sides in the middle, this alien spawns, and the projectiles it spits out, they move to the bottom and then bump back to the middle, and you have to actually, well, take take care of the angles they hit the bottom, because they will go back in an angle towards the middle. Stage 4, I like to stay on the right, so I can avoid the volcano, then go to the left. Avoid the volcanoes. Here I was quite lucky. Normally those dragons don't do any damage. Same thing here, just stay on top of the heads, and I moved a little bit too quick, so I got hit again. So it's a sloppy run, to be honest. I had better runs, but in the end it doesn't matter. I just think that I got a little bit nervous because I got hit quite a lot in this run already, and I got powered down. If I had all the power-ups, it would be way easier. And way easier means, I don't know, not too much, because Cobra is so strong. I decide to let this enemy go and just focus on the dragons so I don't get hit by them. Make quick work of those two. And there are some little popcorn enemies, and then go on top of the dragons, and this time I wanted to make sure that I don't get hit. You have to watch out for the volcanoes. And here there's another pair of dragons. I think there are a few more popcorn enemies. Yep, there they are. Get the power up, or the options in this case. And then you have the stage 5 boss, which is probably the easiest boss in the whole game, because you can just stay on top directly under your score, and yeah, just stay there, hit the heads, and you can just avoid every attack if you stay on over there. Because there's no collision damage, you can really do a lot of silly stuff in this game and avoid a lot of attacks. Combined with the sheer power of Cobra, you blast through the game more or less. But as you can see, if you make mistakes, you will have a harder time. So stage 6. For stage 6, what I learned is you have to find a good balance between being aggressive and being passive. I played this stage very, very passive in the beginning until I tried to be more aggressive, like here. So before I just waited at the bottom and tried to kill all enemies, but sometimes it's better to just go into the offensive. Like here, I just wait a little bit and I want to go on top of these guys normally. I don't do it fast enough, so I use a bomb. And I think I use a bomb here. Okay, no, I get hit. But I use the bomb right now, I think, just to avoid some damage. And there's another one of those guys, and I try to get on top of them and on top of the other enemy, but I get hit again. And this is the point where I get really nervous, because I only have 1 life. I still have 6 bombs, which is good, but I only have 1 life. And what's even worse is that I'm powered down quite significantly. So before the last boss, you get 2 power-ups, and now we are at the Exalted. So Cobra is pretty strong. Normally if you fully powered up, you do not have to deal with this pattern, because before it goes off, you destroy the boss for the first phase. So I used the bomb to, well, make it a little bit easier. Yeah, I got hit here, which is bad. I used a bomb just to recover, and another bomb because I want to get rid of this phase altogether. And this is the last phase. And if you practice it, it looks a little bit intimidating, but if you practice it, it's quite okay. This is the intimidating stuff. These dudes are not too bad because you just destroy them and then go to the left or to the right very slowly to avoid everything. So I think you can see it here in just a second. Yeah, I go to the left and up, but I have to avoid this stuff right now. And this can be a little bit tricky. So this is not the big problem, but this can be a little bit problematic. Luckily for me, Cobra does so much damage that or that I destroyed the boss in this case. I think Green Knight takes a little bit more hits to get rid of the Exalted. Now we are entering the hidden stage where you have to face the true last boss, but before you have these enemies that shoot all kind of weird projectiles. I'm using a bomb here because I had runs where I died in this part and I didn't want to do it right now, and yeah, because I died a few times before and I was quite nervous, I just used the bomb. I actually think that the true last boss is easier than the last boss, like it's easier than the Exalted. You can avoid these patterns quite easily. And I have 2 bombs, keep that in mind. This is a little bit harder if you don't know what's coming. I don't do it perfect here, but I have enough bombs, so I'm just bombing through this. Just stay in the middle, shoot the face, avoid the patterns, which are not too hard in this case. And then we have something similar to what we saw a few seconds ago. I try to avoid a little bit and then just hit the bomb button, shoot a little bit more, and then I was actually surprised that the boss was already toast. And yeah, that's basically the whole run. To sum it up a little bit, through the eyes of a still novice player, I guess, I haven't played too many shmups this year. I tried, but there was too much live stuff I had to take care of, so I couldn't spare a lot of time practicing other shmups, but Super XYX drew me in, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to cheese the game and find my own route through the whole process. It was very cool to see what Days from Shmuptopia was doing, and there are also other cool runs, great runs, that I might link in the video description if you want to learn more about the game and get some ideas what you can do. There are interesting ships. For example, Carrotizer is another very interesting ship that can do a little bit more cheesy things, so to say. You can trick the game even more and use more safe spots and so on. If that's your thing, if you want to break the game, maybe this ship is the one for you. Overall, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do here, and I really enjoyed my time with the game because it was a very good gateway for me to get back more into shmups and have a feeling of constant progression. So the game, maybe it's not a recommendation for newer players, but for me personally, it was a very good game to get back into Shmups a little more and spend more time with the game or with the Shmup again. Word of warning, I would avoid the Steam version. For me personally, I only have troubles with the Steam version. It deletes my progress randomly and I cannot figure out what the reason is. But the Switch version actually runs pretty great, and I would say if you have the opportunity, play the Switch version. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks everyone, have a nice day, have a nice evening. Bye bye.